Any questions?
We're talking to Masai and Dr. Nagutu. Of course, Dr. Nagutu will now give us some information relative to the topic dealing with the Horn of Africa Part 2. And Dr. Nagutu and Masai have been talking about some of the problems associated with perhaps the policies of the United States and other Western nations in helping to give support and comfort in a real sense to dictatorship. Let's pick up that conversation, Dr. Nagutu.
Yeah, it's a good question, actually. During the Cold War, the fight was ideology, and there is governments to watch for. This time, we have terrorism, which is really a fluid type of enemy. And what are the causes of it? What are the underlying situation that is generating terrorism? So one of the things undoubtedly is dictators ruling on the people and wasting their opportunity for good life and freedom and human rights. And those things could happen while the governments are getting support. Sorry, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, while the governments are supporting the dictator governments, and the people are seeing why that's happening, and it doesn't reflect the stated values of the Western governments, that is freedom, democracy, and human rights. And if you take Ethiopia, after the election, in the night of the election, Addis Ababa, the capital city, was swept by the opposition. All of it, regional power and federal power. On the same night, the Prime Minister put a law or a statement saying that no counting of votes, and he stopped the counting, and he directly managed all the military and security forces, and automatically he stopped all the democratic processes. Exactly. And what happens? The Western countries, they didn't react. For example, they reacted in the case of Ukraine. There was a bad election process. Americans, they put a statement saying that this was a bad election. And there was revoting and democratically elected government was put in place. But it didn't happen for Ethiopia. So this type of thing is, at least for some of us, there is double standard.
It's an uneven-handed treatment by the Western nations, civilized in a real sense by the United States of America, even though other countries that might be involved in England, France, and etc. But essentially, when Ethiopians and others talk about what's going wrong with the world and how the West is doing, they don't think about these other countries. They think about what? The United States of America. Is that what we're saying?
Most of the time, the leader of the free world is America. Whether it is for good or for bad, everybody thinks that something bad happens from the West. Behind it is there is United States. But I don't believe that.
And so I think what we're saying, Masai, is that that you have in this bill that is before Congress the ability of the United States to take a proactive kind of situation in helping to bring about democracy in Ethiopia and perhaps on the entire Horn of Africa. Is that what this bill that you're working with in Congress trying to get?
The bill is passed unanimously in the United States Congress.
It's already passed.
And it's passed unanimously, and now it is it's going to the Senate. It is a Foreign Relations Office. This bill is about free and independent media, independent justice system, free prisoners, and
Election Commission.
Neutral election board, and about 8 points of they have to do, but they are against it. The amazing thing is, it is passed by unanimously in the Congress, and they are against it. They say we want to shut up the people and rule the way we want. You see, it is shameful. When I was talking before, I was trying to talk Kenya, when something happened like now in Kenya, people are going to make peace, to bring together, but people are dying. People were dying in my country in 2005, and now, by the next election, if this regime is going to do the same thing, and the international community is looking at it just like that, this will, another chaos will happen. We don't have to wait until a country becomes like Rwanda. We have to protect it before. That's what we are afraid now. What is next Ethiopia to be? We have to, the United States should think about it from now. The present regime is preparing another person like him to replace on that regime. Yeah, they are trying to, they are making them now. And so before that, they have to, we want a democracy like America. The people is hungry for democracy. We want a situation, we want to breathe like the American people breathe, you see? That's what we want. We don't say nothing. We need democracy.
And of course, the bill that you have that has gone through the House, that is now in the Senate, you see, this is a bill that the two of you believe will put the United States in a very, very proactive situation on the Horn of Africa, and instead of our name being a name of reproach among the people of these areas. And I think one of the more important things here is that that area has a lot of things that we need outside of just fighting terror. What can this area give to the United States in the West in terms of resources and what? I mean, what's there?
The United States is a world leader. America this time is really, it is a superpower. If President Bush, he said it in his words, no dictator. He's going to look everywhere what they do, like they do it in Iraq. But there are dictators in Ethiopia, like ours. They have done nothing to free that free people, that poor people, that they are dying from AIDS, they are dying from hunger, they are dying from in prison, they were tortured, killed. So now this bill, which is passed by the Congress, the chapter here in Tennessee, we went to the Senator Lamar Alexander, Senator Corker. We met with their representatives, and we explained everything, what is happening in Ethiopia, and this bill should pass in the Senate, because this government, our government, is paying a lot of money, which is not his money. It is not from his it is the people's money. They just grab, and they have a lot of lobbyists, and they are trying to kill it. So we want America, we want our senators to help us to pass this bill.
Dr. Nagutu, over this last minute that we have, this final question to you. Do you think that the passage of this bill by the United States Senate will put the United States in some degree on a very, very proactive road toward helping the people of Ethiopia and the other countries on the Horn of Africa where we have all kinds of problems, starvation, etc.? Will that put us toward a more proactive kind of thing and provide the foundation for us to perform leadership situation in those areas?
Definitely. One big reason for this is really, first of all, it aligns American values to its foreign policy, at least in Ethiopia. And I will think that if this law becomes really a law of United States, then I'll think that it will produce a result in Ethiopia, and it could be a model of American policy for the whole Africa, even for the whole third world countries. And the whole region, the whole reason is really Americans should think that supporting the people, not dictators.
Very good. And of course, let me thank the two of you as well as those individuals who came by earlier for the excellent information. And let me encourage our audience to tune in again next week for another informative edition of Comments. Thank you and good morning.